How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be doing chapter 5 of Black Torch, titled Testimony. So, beginning the chapter off, we have our three protagonists, Jiro, Ichika, and Reiji. I always keep forgetting their names for some reason. I don't know why. It takes me a minute. So anyways, we get to see them wearing their new outfits, the Type B Espionage Gear Revised. And that's what their equipment is called. And so what happens is in this gear, this is like their combat mode type of things. It heightens their capabilities with artificial muscle fibers, basically. And if they do their Ben 10 watch taps, they can go into like a transparency mode. I just like how it's the watch that's this little Ben 10 thing. So anyways, moving on. They start off with their new mission, and they go to a shrine basically, and they start to pray. While Jiro asks like, "Why are we here? Like, shouldn't we be out fighting or something?" And Shiba kind of says like, "Hey, at least we can do is pray for our successes, right?" Reiji, however, he butts in and he says, this is shrine. This is one of the Bureau's facilities. And Shiba's like, wow, those glasses aren't just for looks, are they now, eh? So they start walking around, and they have to go meet one of the Bureau's colleagues, one of Shiba's colleagues, basically. While they're walking, Jiro just looks at a guy who's just sitting down, wearing all black, and kind of dude looks a little menacing, and he just kind of just brushes him off basically. So anyways, they get to see the acquaintance, and the acquaintance basically says like, hey, you got 15 minutes here, because if I'm known to double book on SOD1 and SOD2, I'm screwed basically. I'm the one who's gonna get shit top to bottom, basically shit up creek. So then Jiro's like, what's SOD1? And Ichika kind of chimes in, and she's like, okay, so this is how the Bureau of Espionage is divided. So how she explains it is, at the top there are the leaders, and within the leaders there's the director or the master, and under him are 4 chiefs. Okay, so we can just infer that these were the people that Shiba was talking to at the end of the first chapter. Under them is the Special Division 1. Special Division 2 is after that. The Intelligence Division, and then the R&D Division after that. So then Reiji kind of says the point that SOD1 is coming in, and they're the polar opposites of us in Division 2. So after that, they're led into this room by the acquaintance, and they're looking for something, right? And Shiba finds it, and I just like this. It's like a modern day digital touchpad. It's like the things that you have like on your homes, like you key in, or like at a hotel basically. Like you key in, and then you can walk into like the door, right? And so what they do is he types in his code, and he goes into a trapdoor opens up, and there's a staircase leading down, right? I just found that so funny. Like, a modern day keypad was just in a rundown shack, basically. So as they're walking down, Shiba kind of turns to Rengo and is like, hey, buddy, you're going to be okay there, right? And Rengo's like, who do you think I am? Like, what are you talking about, right? And so as they get to the bottom of where they're going, they see that there is a big huge pillar, and this pillar is kind of called Seshiko Shikai, I would say, if I was 100% correct. But anyways, it's just called the Killing Stone, okay? So Shiba explains that this is where Rengo was this is where Rengo was held captive. This is where he was sealed, basically. And the thing is they have to figure out why he was unsealed and who unsealed him, basically. So that's what the mission is. So Shiba and Ichika, they kind of split off, and then they're gonna go and see some surveillance, right? Rigi and Jiro are gonna stay put, and they're gonna look at what happened here. At first, Rigi's like, no, I'd rather work with Ichigo. Please switch with me, Chief. And he has that bling to him, like he has that like gentleman type of demeanor. But Shiba, he just brushes him off completely. Like he does not give a damn. So then, he also admits that Ichigo also brushed him off too. So as they're talking, Ichigo and Shiba, as they're walking out, they're like, "Is it okay if we can leave these two together? What if they like fight?" And Shiba is like, whatever. So Jiro and Rigi are just kind of standing by the rock, and Jiro asks Rengo like, "Hey, so why were you sealed in this way anyways? Like, what happened before or after? Like, what happened basically? Like, what do you remember?" And Rengo's like, "I don't remember anything." And Jiro's like, "Oh, really? You serious?" And Rengo's like, "Yeah, I don't remember anything." Rigi says like, he probably has amnesia, which they both kind of say like, "Oh, well, how would you know this?" And Rigi's like, "Well, what happens is a Mononoke that's sealed away for a long time comes back as a shadow of its former self." So basically, what Rigi's trying to say is when a Mononoke is sealed, it's essentially forced into an object. When it's possessed by something, it needs every last drop of its power to do so. So much so that even when a Mononoke is willingly possessing something, it won't be able to undo it on its own, basically. Now, when Rengo possessed Rigi, of course, it used up all of its power. However, when it was in the rock, basically, the thing is, the rock is an inanimate object. If an inanimate object is a killing stone, in this case with Rengo, as Rigi says, then it will be like being trapped in like hell, in a living hell, unable to move even a single muscle. They're imprisoned in an internal darkness as their spiritual energy slowly fades. This could last for hundreds of years, basically. Not even a Mononoke can come out of that unscathed. So, with that being said, who freed him, basically? After that, we kind of come back. We cut back to Shiba and Ichika, and they're talking about the CCTV footage, basically, like what happened, who was on duty on the incident. So they were told it was late at night, so I wasn't here. Well, that's what the colleague says. He wasn't there, but there were two people on duty. And it's kind of weird because nobody left without a trace. No incident happened or anything. So they leave the CCTV camera area with nothing in hand. However, Shiba starts to have like a little Urahara and Jiraiya moment where he starts thinking, he's like, we didn't learn anything today, but this seems off. First of all, it wasn't really much of an attack. They just came in and did their thing. No one was injured. The facility left unscathed, and the enemy was carefully did this, and it was like planned too, like planned and executed carefully. But hold on a minute. He kind of thinks, he's like, how do they even know Rengo was there? Can the Mononukes detect like a sealed brethren? There's no way Rengo's energy could have leaked out of the killing stone, because as we're told, it's like an eternal hell. It's really hard to come out of that. Who could have had this type of information? And if so, would have been a Mononoke, or would it have been somebody from the Bureau of Espionage who could have been a traitor? He's like, after that, she was like, oh man, like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, well, whatever. So then we cut back to Jiro and Rengo, and Rengo has a flashback, basically. So we basically get to see what was happening with Rengo while he was sealed. And what happens is, this is hilarious too. I really like the use of technology the author uses. Basically, an iPad pops up in front of him, and they're talking, basically. And the person who practically FaceTiming Rango is like, "It's been a while, Rango. Times have changed while you were asleep. We, the Mononoke, have tried to have... We, Mononoke, have managed to survive by the skin of our teeth, and we've reached our limit. So he asks Rango, like, can you come back? And so we can destroy the Bureau of Espionage." So then after this flashback ends, Rigi kind of concludes that we've known three things, basically. We know three things now. So first, we know that somebody was able to break the seal of the Killing Stone and Rango. So number two, the person who is on the feed, on the video feed, is acquainted with Rango in the past. And number three, the main goal of the enemy is to destroy the Bureau of Espionage. Okay. Great. Now we know what we're kind of dealing with. At least we're better than what we started off in the beginning of this chapter. So, Jiro kind of has the dumb protagonist moment, like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on. And they kind of have a little back and forth. Like, oh my god, like what an idiot this guy is. Rigi's like, oh, well, you're a piece of work, honestly. Until they hear somebody coming down the stairs, and when they see who it is, it's that dude who was sitting outside of the shrine. And all coated in black. It's kind of, I like to think that the guy's wearing like Nike shoes, because he has Nike shoes, but it's not the check mark. It's more like a lightning bolt, like at the end of the check mark, like where it kind of curves. Instead of curving, it kind of goes downwards again into like a lightning bolt, which I just kind of find hilarious in my opinion. So anyways, he's in front of the doorstep, and when Jiro, Rango, and Rigi realizes, he flash steps right behind him, and ignoring Jiro and Rigi, he kind of says, "Oh, finally get to meet you, Rango." And these two have a moment where they try to punch the enemy, but they can't. And the enemy kind of says, "Get out of our way of our emotional reunion, human scum." So reunion. So these two have met before, basically. Jiro and Rigi, they kind of go into their combat mode. And I think even Rango is about to help Jiro in the fight as well. And it's a beautiful cover page. It's officially begun. And the guy's like, nothing but trash, eh? So we get to see what Shiba and Ichigo were trying to do. After they left the CCTV footage area, they were going to go back to the shrine. Or back to like that area that they went, where Jiro and Rigi are. However, there's an issue. There is a barrier. The enemy we just saw just left a barrier and is like, oh shit! Like now they're in there alone, basically. Ichigo's like, what should we do? We won't be able to get inside with our current power. So then, right after she says this, two figures come by. So we get introduced to the Chief of Special Operations Division 1, which was the SOD, basically, if I didn't mention that already. Toko Kushiomi. Tokyo Kushiomi. Toko, okay? It says Toko. I feel bad for butchering these names, but I try my best. So anyways, she arrives, who's the special division's chief, and she comes with her butler. And this butler is a pretty good-looking butler. It's a pretty stoic-looking man. So now, the 15 minutes is up, and now Special Division 1 is here. What they're going to do, how this chapter is going to play out, if they're going to go inside the barrier, well, that's all up for debate now. And that's the end of the chapter. And so yeah, I mean, probably they're gonna go into the barrier next chapter and probably fight whoever's there, or maybe there's another enemy lurking around that we don't know of. But yeah, that was the end of the chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'm going to be trying to do Black Torch videos every week now. Hopefully I can get these out on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is what I'm hoping for. So next one will be Monday, and Tuesdays will be Black Torch reviews. So thank you for watching. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe if you did. Make sure you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Take care.